Charlie Munger, the famous billionaire investor and former vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, said that earning the first $100,000 is the hardest part of getting rich. Many people who've made lots of money agree with him. People also say the same thing about earning the first $1 million. After you reach $100,000, getting to $200,000 and $300,000 and more becomes much easier. Once you make your first million, earning the second million is that much faster. This idea can help people who are working hard to get richer but feel like it's taking too long. It shows that patience and slow progress are important. So why is reaching the first 100K the hardest? There are two main reasons. First, it's like being in a video game. You need to get better at each level to catch up with the experienced players. And this is true for earning money when you're young, which is getting worse and worse. Also, a study showed that Gen Z has 86% less buying power than boomers had at the same age. And that's because older people are working longer, so there are fewer high-paying jobs. But there's good news. The internet offers young people a great chance to make more money, even more than previous generations. Many older folks don't know how to use Instagram or TikTok or start an online side job. In tech, not many boomers can keep up with the younger generation. The second reason getting the first $100,000 is hard is because of compound interest, or the lack of it. Think of your money like a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it gathers more snow, which is like compound interest. The bigger the snowball, the more snow it picks up. Sounds good, right? Well, yes and no. Let me explain. If you have less than 100K right now, your snowball isn't big enough to gain much from compound interest, so you won't be able to fully benefit from it. For example, if you invest $10,000 in an S&P 500 index fund and get a 7% return each year, after 5 years, your $10,000 would grow to $14,176. Now that's a gain of $4,176 over 5 years. And this shows why it's so hard to reach the first 100K. It's more about how much you can add to your investment, not just relying on compound interest. So you need to find ways to earn more money. I remember working many side jobs at once to make enough money. It was tough, working long hours and avoiding spending on vacations and fancy restaurants. But it's worth it, because once you reach that first 100K, growing your wealth becomes much easier. So why does net worth grow so fast after hitting the first 100K? It's because compound interest starts becoming your friend and working really well for you. Let's look at a simple example. If you invest $10K each year with a 7% return, it takes about 7.84 years to go from 0 to 100K. But to go from 100K to 200K, that only takes about 5.1 years. That's 2.74 years faster for the second $100,000, which is 35% faster. And it just keeps getting better. From 200,000 to 300,000, takes about 3.78 years. From 300,000 to 400,000 takes just 3 years. And from 400,000 to 500,000 takes just 2.5 years. We can keep going, but I think you get the idea. The chart goes up quickly after you reach that first 100K. So the key is to work hard and reach that first 100K as soon as you can. If you can save time getting to 100K, you'll become a millionaire even faster. Once you reach $100,000, getting rich is almost certain, especially if you invest in a low-cost index fund. For example, if you only saved $100,000 and invested it in an S&P 500 index fund without adding any more money, you'd become a millionaire in about 33 years. That's the amazing power of compound interest after you hit 100K. Real quick, if you like what I'm covering here, then you might like my completely free newsletter, where I also talk about investing and personal finance tips just like this one. I always learn better when I can not only hear things but see them visually as well. So if you want to join, please go to the link I'll have in the description below. So, how can you reach your first 100K? It's really simple actually. Just follow these 7 steps. I've done it myself, and it really helped me at the time when I had close to nothing. So I hope it works for you too. Alright, the first step is to take control of your money. And the best way to do that? Budgeting. Yes, I know, budgeting can sound boring, but trust me, it's not about taking away all the fun. Think of it as a roadmap that helps you make smarter decisions. You don't need to become super thrifty, but it's important to know the difference between your needs and your wants. And guess what? I made a completely free spending tracker to help you get to your first 100K faster. The tracker follows the 50-30-20 rule and updates in real time as you fill in the numbers to show you if you're on track with your goals. If you want it, just click the link in the description below to get it. Step 2. Make sure to build an emergency fund. This means saving enough money to cover 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. It helps you avoid going into debt when something unexpected happens. This will make you feel safe and help you stay on track with your money goals. To build your emergency fund, first figure out how much money you need each month for things like rent, groceries, utilities, and transportation. Then multiply that amount by 3 to 6 to know how much you should save. Also, remember to keep your emergency fund in a separate, easily accessible account, like a high-yield savings account. This way, you won't be tempted to spend it on non-emergencies, but you can still get to it quickly if you need it. Step number 3 is all about investing your money smartly. Start by learning about different types of investments and choose ones that fit your risk tolerance and goals. Even if you start small, the important thing is to get started. Consider low-cost index funds or mutual funds as a good way to begin. I use a platform called Interactive Brokers for this. Any good investment account will work, but let's do some simple math. Imagine you put $250 every month into an S&P 500 index fund and earn 7% extra money each year. After 40 years, you'll have $656,000. But here's the cool part. $536,000 of that comes from the compound interest your investment made, not just what you put in it. You only put in $120,000 yourself. I know, you might be thinking, won't I be retired and old by then? I get it. That's why it's important to start investing early to get the most out of your money. Another important step is to find ways to earn more money. You can do this in several ways. One way is to look for a job that pays better. You might need to apply for new jobs that offer more money than your current job. And if you like your job but think you should earn more, you can ask your boss for a raise. Be ready to talk about why you deserve more money by showing what you've done well at work. Another way to make more money is by starting a side job. This means doing extra work besides your main job. You can find different side jobs like doing freelance work or getting a part-time job. For example, you might also find a part-time job to do in your free time. If you enjoy making things like jewelry, art, or baked goods, you can sell them online or even at local markets. This can be a fun way to earn extra money doing something you love. Now that you're making more money, it's time to think about step 5, which is minimizing your taxes. This might sound a bit funny, but the goal is to lower how much you pay in taxes. Now, to be clear, there's a big difference between two things: tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax avoidance is legal and smart. It means finding ways to pay less in taxes using legal methods. Tax evasion is illegal and not okay. It means cheating on your taxes. You might think, but if you earn more, don't you have to pay more taxes? Yes, and the rich do pay a lot in taxes. But there are also rewards for people who start businesses because they create jobs. These business owners are taxed on their profits at the end of the fiscal year, so they can save money by deducting business expenses from their taxes. This is called a write-off. This is different from regular employees who pay taxes on their salary every month. For example, if you love new tech gadgets like the latest iPhone, you could start a YouTube channel where you review these gadgets. Once your channel earns money, you can subtract the cost of buying the gadgets from your income before paying taxes. This way, you can get the gadgets without paying extra tax on them. But remember, you need to prove that these expenses are for your business. You can't just claim any expense you want. So finding a way to combine your business with something you love can help you save on taxes. Next, let's move on to step 6, erasing your high-interest debts. Debt can hold you back from saving and investing. Did you know that the average American owes about $21,800? If you have debt, you're not alone. Make a plan to pay it off as quickly as possible so you can free up more money for saving and investing. The first thing you should do is make a list of all your debts and figure out which ones have the highest interest rates. Then, you can start by paying off the debts with the highest interest rates first. But this is where compound interest can work against you if you're not careful. Imagine compound interest like a hot sun, melting away the snow you're trying to build for your first 100K. If you have too much debt, it can slow down your progress. So try to make small payments whenever you can, because every little bit helps. Don't get discouraged if it seems like you're losing money with each payment. Think of it as an investment in reaching your goal of 100K. Ignoring your debts will only make things worse later on. Step number 7 is about finding extra ways to make money, often called starting a side hustle. In 2024, about half of Americans have a side hustle, even if they already make over $100K a year. Having a side hustle can be really helpful. It means you have more ways to earn money, which you can use to put into tax-advantaged accounts, like Roth IRAs or 401Ks, and that helps your money grow faster. Think of it like adding more snow to your snowball, making it bigger and letting compound interest help you even more, which, as I've mentioned, is really important for reaching your first 100K. Once you get there, you might think about slowing down a bit, as Charlie Munger suggests. However, if you're not at the 100K mark yet, then you might want to buckle up and cut back on your expenses. And that's where this next video will help you with the 15 worst purchases you can make that you'll regret. So check it out. Cheers.